What's up, Melanated family? I want to welcome everybody to another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. Now, if this is your first time, the Melanated Convo podcast is a podcast where we speak to inspiring individuals from around the country, whether it be an entertainer, whether it be a writer, whether it be a damn plumber, whether it be just a parent who's passionate about taking care of their kids, whatever it is. We just look for different people that we can use to inspire our people. We understand how hard it is out here. We understand, all the pitfalls that we have in life. But people who step out of the norm to be creative, to be innovative, I like to take my hat off to them. So that's what we do here on the podcast. Also, what we do on the podcast is we like to advertise different Black businesses who doing their thing in the community. I'm here in Sacramento. Sometimes it'll be a business that's local. Sometimes it'll be a business that's in a different state. Regardless, we speak a lot about economics in our community and how important it is. But you got to put your money where your mouth is. You got to put your time into seeking these people out. So I like to use my platform to bring awareness to different businesses that you may not been aware of. Because a lot of people that I speak to who are looking to support Black businesses, one of the biggest things I get is I don't know where to go. I don't know where to find them. At the split second, if I need some shoes or I need just a regular household item, I'm gonna just go to Walmart or somewhere close to me, opposed to trying to seek out a Black business. And I get that, but at times, if we want to raise the economic fortitude in our community and make us more of a force economically, it's important that we support each other. So I like to bring these businesses to the light so my people can know what's going on. And on today's show, we got a real good interview with a brother that's here from the city I'm from that does a lot of good things here in the city. We're going to get to him in a minute. So first, the first business that I wanted to promote today is a business. I think this sister is out of Atlanta. Her business is called AwesomeFlyers.com. Now, what she does, of course, like the name says, she can do flyers for you. As she promotes herself, she's trying to help you establish your brand. So she does flyers, she does logos, she does press kits. So if you're an entertainer, you in music, anything involving entertainment, sometimes you need a press kit just to package that thing up so you can send it off to a potential manager, send it off to somebody that's potentially going to do a show for you. So it kind of it's like a resume for an artist, so to speak. So she does press kits. She can do the website design. The sister also does t-shirt printing as well. So she created a one-stop shop for anybody looking to get their promo game up, basically. So like I said, man, it's important that we support Black businesses as much as possible. So if you want to support this sister, if you need a shirt made, if you need a website design, even if you want to go to the website to check out her prices just to give her a fair shot, you can go to AwesomeFlyers.com. And like I said, they got the flyers, they got the logo. That press kit would definitely come in handy. So any brand new artists out there, brand new musicians, you definitely gonna need to get yourself a press kit. So holla at my sister Stacy, who runs AwesomeFlyers.com. Again, that's AwesomeFlyers.com. Go to the website, check out what she's doing. Now, for the second business, this is actually, like I said, I'm in Sacramento, but this is actually a business that's located in Georgia. So all my people in Georgia, you close by Georgia, and to a degree, even if you're not in Georgia, some of these businesses can inspire you to do something similar in your own city, right? So this business is Georgia Center for Youth Excellence. Now, this brother created a platform where basically it's a 501(c) organization where he basically helps at-risk youth with different programs for him. He says his vision is to engage, develop, and empower young people with the tools and resources necessary for them to become productive and valued members in their prospective communities. He's been doing the thing since like 2016. He provides a multitude of programs and services in a safe environment that will contribute to their assets in building or building development rather. Now, he also enhances leadership development amongst the youth. He's serving as a community-based organization that is an extension to the learning provided in their educational development. So like I said, man, if you're in the Georgia area and you have a child that's between 10 and 22 years old, they can participate in the program, whether it be, I see here he has like safe housing, transitional living program for young people who may be homeless, young people between the ages of 16 and 22 who may be homeless. So if anybody is interested in just connecting with the brother, donating to his cause, all the above, you can go to GACYE.org. That's GACYE.org, and that's basically Georgia Center for Youth Excellence. Similar to myself, I have my organization, Melanated Fathers of America, so I understand the importance of brothers reaching back and just figuring out a way, whatever fits your personality, because that's what I say, right? Sometimes we want people to be like revolutionaries, or we want people to go in the community to do specific shit, but ultimately you got to do what's in your spirit. You got to do what's in your heart. Everybody's not built, or everybody doesn't want to have an organization per se. There's 100 different ways that you can participate in your community and make a positive input, right? So if anybody's in Georgia, check the brother out. Anybody else around the country, man, if your city or the neighborhood you from don't have some type of youth program that brings young people together, maybe you should try to start one. You feel me? We understand how when we were younger, I'm 39 now, but when we were younger, there were more programs in our communities that lend themselves to us, where Friday night we can go somewhere and have fun, or some type of basketball program, or, you know, free lunch. All these different things help inspire the youth and just keep us going. So a lot of those programs have been removed from our community. So because of that, programs like this become much more important. So if you're out there, if you're in the Georgia area or close to him, please go to the website, see what he's doing. At the least, you can donate if you needed to, right? So that is the two businesses for the day. If anybody is interested in the awesomeflyers.com, go there, or holler at my brother in Georgia for his program. Now, for the interview. Today, we have a brother on the line that is out of Sacramento. He does a lot of different things. He's a music artist. He does a little security, or you know, security for different musicians. He is a manager of different musicians as well, you know, and he has a couple of other business ventures that we're gonna speak about also. And like I mentioned, man, it's important, you know, being in the rat race, which is life, where most of us is working a 9 to 5, just doing what we can to feed our family. I think it's important for all of us to figure out a way to be creative, figure out a way to be a little innovative, because to me, the creators in this world is what keep everything going. So of course we have to feed our family. Of course we got to find a job and do what we need to do. But outside of that, everybody should ask themselves, what else am I doing? What is my like creative outlet, like for my own personality? Some of us are working jobs and doing shit that we don't even want to do. You see what I'm saying? And I don't think nobody should live like that. So even if you work in a job that you don't want to work, after that, what are you doing? What are you doing to inspire your community? What are you doing to help the people around you, right? So in my opinion, this brother embodies all of that. So on the phone, we have David Perry Jr., better known as Hard Hitta Problem. How you doing today, bro?
I'm all right. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's good to have you on the podcast.
It's good to be on.
Definitely. So first off, you know, before the interview, I asked you a few things just to get familiar with you, but, you know, I'm probably going to double back on a few of those things. So first, because I have listeners that are, you know, we both of us are in Sacramento, but I have listeners all around the country. So tell everybody where you from and talk to us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I'm originally from the Bay Area.
Okay.
Half Alameda, half Oakland. I moved to Sacramento when I got married to my wife. She's originally from Sag, born and raised. What I do by myself is, while I'm an artist myself, I do bodyguard work, and I also do artist management. And I'm currently a road manager for Cash Fed.
Okay. Now, talk to us about that music grind, man, because you spoke to me earlier about, you know, you've been rapping since 25. You know, that's when you begin to take it serious. So talk to us about that music grind, because like also what I was saying to you a little earlier, you know, in our community, hip hop has been a form of release for a lot of us. Like a lot of us see that as a viable option because of how close we are to it. So talk to us about your grind in music and how it's been for you.
Yeah, definitely. That's basically what I got into music as an outlet, but
Mm-hmm.
also as a avenue to open up doors to other businesses. That's
Mm,
the biggest thing I would suggest to anybody trying to do music. Don't just settle for music,
mm,
because music does have a cap,
mm,
a age cap, or a content cap.
mm-hmm.
So always look to start other businesses, and that's basically what I did.
Okay, okay. Now, I seen you have a company where you do videography and different stuff like that. Talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, it was actually me and a high school friend. We got together. I started going to school for digital media.
Hmm.
It was something that I got into, and it was something originally said I wanted to do music videos, but then when I got deep into what digital media actually was, I was like, I can start a business off of this.
Hmm.
And it was basically music videos basically fell down to the bottom of the list. I was doing commercials, PSAs, I was doing things for my church.
Hmm.
It was a bigger avenue than I thought when I first jumped into it.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Okay. And um, okay. And so far, how has that business been going for you? Not as far as like financially, but have you been moving forward with it? Have you been making progress?
Yeah, definitely. I make some progress. Mostly like I said, what I do is like commercials and PSAs. People that want to do like live podcasts
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So it's a lot out there, especially with other people that they come to me and be like, "Oh, I want to start this business venture," but they want to do it in the digital way.
Hmm.
And I'm able to not only just capture their vision, but also, you know, open that door for them to tell them how they could do it.
Okay. Okay. That's good stuff right there. All right. And tell me the name of that company.
That company is 895 Media Group,
895 Media Group. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I see it.
and the eight is spelled out. 95 is the numbers, and then Media Group.
Okay. Okay. So anybody out there, man, if any of the services he mentioned is something that you need, make sure you holler at the brother just to give him just to give him a shot to see if what he offers is something that you can actually use. Now tell me this, what is your when we look at your music, when we look at you managing artists, because like that makes sense. You mentioned the advice you gave to open yourself up and do different things. It looks and I kind of seen that when I was looking at your page. It looks like you're spreading yourself out a little bit. So you not just what I'm saying, in the studio writing the raps, making the music, but you want to be on the managerial side. You
Mhm.
behind the camera and everything, right?
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, it really started. Well, the bodyguard work started because that's what I did as a profession. I was a security guard,
Hmm.
and I was like, and then I just kept every license I could get. I can get it started just by just being a regular security guard. And I was like, okay, I want to be an armed security guard, so I got my open carry license.
Hmm.
And I was like, you know what, I want to do executive protection because every level you go up, it's more money that you can make. So I
Hmm.
was like, let me see what does it take to do executive protection. So I went and got my concealed carry permit. And then once I did that, then I was like, now it's time to try to find clients.
Hmm.
And then I ended up lucking up. That's why I said music can lead to other ventures because I actually had a show with Haiti Baby,
Hmm.
rapper out of Stockton,
Yeah.
and I was doing the show. But I noticed that he didn't have any security and he has a big fan base. So I approached his manager, like, who's your security? And basically pitched myself like I have a CCW and I could do both. I was like, I can come do shows and I can also do bodyguard work and I can also drive y'all.
Hmm.
So that's basically that. We sat down, talked about it, mapped it out, and that's basically how I got started doing bodyguard work.
Okay, that's interesting. So you went for it. You put yourself out there and went and got what you wanted because closed mouths don't get fed. It sounded like if you wouldn't have said nothing to him that night, you wouldn't be working with him right now.
Pretty much. And then it
Yeah.
led to another opportunity, the artist that I'm with now, Cash Fed, because I don't do bodyguard work with Haiti Baby anymore because he has a whole new team or whatever and he moved on.
Hmm.
But I met Cash Fed while I was with Haiti Baby.
Mm.
And I pretty much asked him the same thing. I seen he had a lot of jewelry on. He just had regular people around him. I was like, bro, you ever thought about having security? Like, it's almost basically like selling insurance.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
Because
That's a good way to put it.
some people don't think they need it until they need it.
Hmm. That's a
And
great point.
I'm like, I give them, you got to break it down to them. I give you the ease to relax wherever you're at. You don't have to worry. You don't have to, you know, keep your eye out for this and that. That's my job to do. Now you can go to these events and you can give your all because you know you're being protected.
Hmm. Interesting.
And
Interesting.
it's been working out for me since.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. You see, you hear that, everybody? It seems. I think in a big way that I feel about all this, David. I think when your energy's in the right place, certain things will just fall in your lap. Like when your energy's in the right place, you put yourself in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? I don't really believe in luck per se. I think it's more of, you know, preparation and being ready for opportunities.
Definitely.
That's definitely how you get ahead. Now, speaking of protecting, I was doing a little research about you, and I seen that you had experience working at a high school, right?
Yes, I actually still do.
Okay. Talk to me about that. And what capacity do you work at the high school?
So I'm a campus monitor, supervisor, depends on what district you're at, what they call them. Some of them call them security guards. And that was another transition situation. I was a security guard and I ended up moving up the ranks, and I became a branch manager. And I ended up losing my job because we lost a contract. Everybody knows this. Well, I don't know if everybody knows, but security, there's nothing secure about security.
Hmm.
It's whatever contracts they have or don't have. If they, you could be sitting on top making six figures one day to not having a job the next day just because one of your clients got an attitude or somebody pitched them a better offer.
Hmm.
That's basically what happened. And I was coaching football, my son's football team actually, and one of the guys there, he was a campus monitor supervisor for the school. And he always seen me on the phone and stuff. And he asked me what I did. And I was like, security. But I was like, I'm kind of tired of contract security. And he was like, you should become a campus supervisor. And I was like, well, tell me more.
Hmm.
It was like, it's basically like a security guard at the school. And I was like, okay, well, tell me how do I apply? And he told me the website to go to and what all to do. And I went on there and I ended up getting hired and ended up being a bigger opportunity to me because I've always wanted to work with youth.
Hmm.
So being a campus supervisor, you're like the closest to the kids.
That's what I was gonna ask you about. Like, because I think that our children need more black faces in the campus, like in totality. So like from the principals to the administrative side to teachers, you know what I'm saying? Even to the
Mm-hmm.
security or the campus monitors like yourself. I think it's just
Mm-hmm.
important for our kids to see positive black men in their environment, you know what I'm saying, that they can relate to and talk to. So tell me, like, how has it been working with our youth, being around our youth? Because you know I'm 39 now, so I ain't been in school in a while. How do they respond to you? You know what I'm saying? What's normally like the temperature with the children?
So, well, I know you've been on my page. So,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, I'm 6'4",
Mm.
250 pounds, and I'm tattooed from neck to toe. So, and then a lot of them know me from my Instagram. So they know that I do music and they know that I do bodyguard work for people that they look up to.
Oh.
So it was kind of an easy transition, especially me having kids. I know how to talk to them. It's kind of like being an authority figure, but also giving them the respect because not being a dictator,
Mm.
because that'll shut them down and they won't respond to you very well. And I've seen it happen to plenty of campus monitors. They like get cussed out on the daily, or the kids don't respect them. I just talk to them. I was just telling somebody the other day, if somebody sends me to get somebody out of a classroom that the teacher can't handle, I don't just take them straight to the office. I'll take the long route, talk to them like, bro, what's going on? Talk their language. I don't talk to them like, I guess I don't talk to them like kids, but I don't talk to them like they're adults either. I give them
Mm-hmm.
like, come on, man, tell me what's going on. What
Mm-hmm.
happened? And I won't be afraid to be like, man, you know that was dumb, right? He was like, but this is what I'm gonna tell you the best advice when we go in this office, don't go in this office with no attitude. That's why I'm taking a long route so you can calm down before we go in this office. Because like you said, we don't have a lot of colored people in position of power. And it's just they don't understand the kids. And me coming from the streets and coming from where they come from, I understand. Like I give you one story, for instance, when I first started, when I got hired on permanently at a high school, and they had this wave cap rule, and they were really like jumping down the kids' throats about wave caps. Now they were saying that the kids were saying that the other campus supervisors were being racist.
Hmm.
So I had to read in between the lines. I'm like, you guys don't understand why these kids are wearing wave caps. I was like, let me tell you, because I have teenage boys that wear wave caps. It's either something's wrong with their hair, they don't have a haircut, and they're not trying to be embarrassed. I said, now you can either let this kid wear this wave cap or be prepared to break up a fight in the
Hmm.
next period, because somebody's going to talk about that kid and they're going to get into a fight. So is it
Hmm.
really that serious to be that petty to tell them to take their wave cap off? You allow kids to wear hats, allow them to wear wave cap. I could tell you from personal experience that it's not gang related.
Hmm.
And they were like, we never thought about it like that. I said, I know, because you don't come from where I come from.
Man, ain't that the truth, bro? And you know, I think looking at a lot of, because I went to Burbank and was on Florin Road every day of my life, so I'm went all the schools I went to were right there in that area. But
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of our schools, some of the biggest problem is just the disconnect with the staff and the students. Some of these teachers, which in a lot of situations is white females, or white males per se, it's not people that understand us. So when they see a black boy act in a certain way, they don't know what to take of it, because when school's over, they go back to wherever they from, and they're not even living in the environment. So they're not familiar with our mannerisms. They're not familiar with how we speak. So some
Mm-hmm.
of them are even using some of the stereotypes they see on TV or the
Yeah.
stereotypes they see with rappers. So they're correlating that with our kids, when our kids is just like everybody else. We just
Mm-hmm.
we just African to a degree. So how we
Yeah.
act, our mannerisms a little bit louder, we talking with our hands, that's not really a threatening thing. It's just kind of how
Mm-hmm.
we get down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I always find myself, I'm always the explainer of what's going on. Like I was at Rosemont, was it day before yesterday, and there's a kid sagging, but has the laminated picture around his neck. And the teacher's like, I don't understand why he's wearing that thing, and questioning him and acting like it was something weird. And I
Mm-hmm.
had to basically sit down and explain to him, like, look, there's one or two reasons he's wearing that around his neck. Either one of his friends got killed or one of his friends is locked up. That's
Hmm.
the only reason why they're wearing that picture around their neck. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. And then later on that day, she grabbed me again to explain it to the rest of the teachers. I'm like, but they're
Man.
all white teachers.
Oh man, ain't that something, bro? That
I'm
they
like, it's just
are.
something simple like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And think about how many of our boys are getting punished and getting reprimanded just because the adult doing the punishing don't understand. Like it's
Yeah,
really a.
telling them take it off, and they don't know the sentimental value of it. So now you're
Mm-hmm.
aggravating them, they're getting pissed off, and
Yep.
yeah. So basically, that's why I do what I won't do anything else in the school district. I've been asked to work in a classroom, but I'd rather be out dealing with the kids all at a time.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm no longer at Valley. The kids are upset. They said I was their favorite because they could just come talk to me. Like I wouldn't. I've gotten thank you notes like that. They like that I talk to them and I don't just stare at them and I don't just treat them like a regular kid. Like I
Mm-hmm.
really listen to them and hear their problems. Like sometimes it's dealing with my own kids, even though if I don't want to hear what they're saying or what they're saying is dumb to me, I just let them talk to let them
Mm-hmm.
get it out. I'd be like, okay, now that you got it out, now let's have this conversation. But the worst thing to do is to shut a kid down and don't let them express themselves.
Definitely. Definitely. And that's wow. That's so important to me, bro, because what you doing for those kids in the particular school that you at, I think all of our schools need that. And I'm happy the teachers that you working with are open to it. Like they're saying, look, I don't understand this. He explained it to me. Come explain it to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
they're in our I think maybe sometime down the line, the schools need to have like a workshop with all the teachers and bring somebody black in to kind of explain to them
Right,
what's
right.
going on and how we view stuff. Because I think a middle-aged white woman can't even fathom that a 17-year-old just lost his friend to gun violence. I don't even
Oh,
think they can
and they
wrap their
be
mind around
petrified
that.
of these kids. They be petrified of these kids. And it
Mm,
don't be like it. Like I would even use Rosemont again. Like when I go, I only sub now. I'm not permanent anywhere anymore. I substitute. So I was at being at Rosemont, and they won't go to the area where the gang members are. They send me,
mm,
and then they wonder, like I'm trying to tell them how to deal with them. Like I'm not going to be here forever. I was like, either that or you guys are going to have to start, when you guys hire, you're going to have to start hiring a little more urban campus supervisors.
yeah.
You can't be hiring these older people or these people that aren't from the neighborhood or that they don't
Mm-hmm.
see out at the grocery store,
Mm-hmm. Ain't that the truth? Yep.
because that's what happens. Like I've literally walked up to situations where kids is cussing the monitor. Now I'm gonna give you one last year. The reason why they keep having me come back to Rosemont. Last year I'm in the gang member corner and they're throwing carrots at each other. I tell them stop throwing carrots, but one of them threw one and hit somebody that wasn't in their circle. So they got a fight about to break out. The boy pushes the boy about to hit him in the mouth, and I grab him and push him in the corner. I'm by myself, which I didn't mind. But when the principal came over there, which was a middle-aged white woman, like I had him in the corner, he was calm. As soon as she touched him, he lost it. Like
Mm.
I'm still holding him, and I've been holding him for the past couple minutes before she came over there. He didn't say nothing. As soon as she came over there, he looked dead at her and said, "Don't touch me."
Mm.
I'm still holding him. He's not saying anything to me. I'm looking at her like, get away from here. What are you doing? I got it under control. Don't touch, go grab somebody else. Don't touch him. You're about to escalate the situation. You don't have the same respect and rapport that I have with these kids.
Man, ain't that something, bro? And I think that same mentality extends to the police too. You will have these police officers policing our neighborhoods when they're not from the neighborhood, when they don't know
Right.
the temperament of the people in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I
And
think, no, go ahead.
and I always said that the whoever's in that neighborhood should know that's crazy Johnny. We know he
Exactly.
finna flip out.
Mm-hmm. He
You
don't
know what I'm
mean no
saying? Like
harm.
when I grew up, I knew the officer in my neighborhood by name. He knew I was bad as hell. I knew he was a cop.
Hmm.
But he dealt with me in a different way than somebody that didn't wouldn't even know me and just was like, oh, he's just another thug.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you have to, like, it's so many things that have went on in our communities that we've been disenfranchised so much. There's been so much that's been inflicted in our communities. Like you gotta go into a school or you gotta go into a situation where there's black babies. You gotta go into that situation understanding all this stuff. If not,
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna know what the hell is going on. It's gonna scare you. If you walk into sometimes if you walk into like a function or something where there's a whole bunch of black people, and I always think this to myself, if you're not from our community, it may scare you. We moving around, people talking loud, you hearing all this shit, but ain't it's all coming from a good place. Nobody about to hurt
Mm-hmm.
each other. Nobody really angry at each other. It's just kind of how we communicate. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what they don't understand too. At some of these schools I go to, and I tell you, they send me to that corner. They're from the streets. They rough. They play rough a little bit. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they talk to each other a little different. You know, they even call each other out their names, but they
Mm-hmm.
be sitting over there so frantic. Oh my God, a brawl's about to break out. No, that's how they communicate. Like
Yep.
I'm just standing there, and they're wondering like, why are you standing there so calm? Because they're just being regular. Like they're smiling while they're being rough. They're like, well, that can lead to a fight. It could, but you over here over policing the situation is gonna
Mm-hmm.
lead to you getting into a fight.
Yep.
Because they
Yep.
gonna first thing a kid gonna say is you over here, you doing too much. That's
Mm-hmm.
their favorite thing to say. You doing too much. And I'll be like, I have to agree, you are doing too much. They're kids.
Yep. And it's good that they have you to kind of articulate those problems because sometimes I think we have a young dude who get kicked out of school. He'll get expelled or whatever, he go home to his mama. She just trying to work hard and do what she can for a baby. She asked him what happened. He just say they was in there doing too much. She don't even know that that's a loaded statement. He not just saying. He's saying they over policing us. They watching us when they shouldn't be watching us. He's saying a whole lot in that statement. You know what I'm saying? But young people sometimes don't have the ability to like articulate what they looking at, so they get blamed for it.
Right. I see it a lot. I see a lot of kids get in trouble either for something that's simple or just something that the school doesn't understand. And some of them I can step in, and some of them it's too late for me to step in. But it's weird how it is. And I've actually made Facebook posts about that. We need more minority teachers, and we need more. Like most of the schools I do go to, the campus supervisors are black, and that's only because they can control the kids. And then the ones that aren't black, the kids don't like. It's just simple fact. I hate making it a race thing, but that's exactly what it is.
I feel you.
Or they be too old. Like my daughter goes to Kennedy. I went and subbed at Kennedy, and I only went there because I wanted to see what the environment was like. She always says it's so bad, and they're always fighting, and da da da. I was like, let me go see. And there's a reason. There's a reason why they're always fighting. And I went there. Every last campus monitor they had there was at least 60 plus. There's no way that they are connecting with these kids. For one. Two, kids are gonna do what they can get away with. They know ain't none of y'all about to break up no fight no time soon. There's a reason the kids told me in Valley why they wouldn't fight in front of me, because it would be a waste of a fight because they'd get broke up too fast. Plus, I also told them that I'd body slam them on their neck. It was like a joke that I would tell them that, and I'll punch you in the stomach. But it was like a joke I had with the kids, and then they'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell," and I'd be like, "Ain't no cameras. It's my word against yours." And then we all just start busting out laughing about it.
You speaking the language, bro.
So it's just like that. Like I'm in between. I'm 39 like you as well, so I'm kind of in between generations, I guess you could say. And then the fact that they know that my background, because I don't hide anything about myself on my social media. I have my family on there. I have my church family on there. Everybody knows I used to be a gang member. Everybody knows I'm still affiliated with gang members. I just don't affiliate myself with illegal activity anymore.
There you go.
But I use it to be able to still stay close and steer them right. Basically, a big homie. What a big homie is supposed to be.
I was just about to say that, because I think if you from somewhere, we got to understand there is a side to gang life that's negative, right? But there's a brotherhood there too. And if you can figure out a way to still be connected with that, but disconnect yourself from any wrongdoing, you can help. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, because they don't know how much pull. Even at the school, like some of the peak schools that I go to, the kids know that I was a Crip. So just off the strength of that, if I say something, my word is valid because of who I am. And then they know that I'm not on no dumb stuff. Because I tell them quick, like, bro, that's dumb. It's just dumb. Like, just look at it, that's dumb. And then I explain it to them, like, there's a lot of adults that act like they don't have to explain to kids. But what they don't understand, they're fucking kids. You have to explain it to them, because even with my own kids, I could tell 9 times out of 10, they just don't understand what I'm saying. Like when they say they don't know or they don't understand, they're not lying. They're telling the truth. They don't get it. You have to make it click for them. And sometimes it has to come with a story. Like, okay, this is why I'm saying this. And then if they do it, I have a son now. He's a gang member. He listens, but then he don't listen. And then when he don't listen, and then it happens, I believe I bring that story of like, remember 2 months ago when I just told you, don't do this and don't do that, and if you did this, this is what was gonna happen. Now you just learn from experience.
That's deep, bro. That's deep, bro. Because wow, see, I didn't even know. I kind of figured you were affiliated, but the way that you articulate it, I think that's perfect. Because honestly, I think if you from somewhere, regardless of what you had to do in your neighborhood, regardless of the beefs and different things, your neighborhood have with other people. When you get older, most people get older and they say, okay, I don't want to be a part of that shit to a certain degree, but you shouldn't really leave your homeboys like that. You shouldn't really say, okay, I'm not gonna deal with y'all at all. Well, you can't. I mean, that's your friends too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So what I did, I just changed my actions in the way that I move.
Hmm.
Like I'm in school, I'm in college. I got 5 classes left to get my associates in advertisement and public relations.
Oh,
I
damn.
use that to my advantage because I've carried a 3.0 the whole time, above a 3.0 the whole time I've been in school. And I
Hmm.
even do it to the kids. I'll be like, "What your grades looking like?" And then I look at them like, "You know, I'm from the hood, right?" They be like, "Yeah, yeah, OG, we know, we know." All right, let me show you my grades. They be
Hmm.
like, "Damn." Okay, I'll be like, "Hey, you know I'm from the hood, right? You know I've been to jail before, right? But look what Sacramento County gave me,
Hmm.
a concealed carry permit. You want to know why? Because I
Hmm.
changed my life.
Damn.
Like I
Damn.
tell people all the time, my biggest charges I ever went to jail for was gun possession, and now I can legally carry a gun.
Hmm. Ain't that something?
Like ain't nobody tell me it ain't possible. You just got to clean yourself up.
Yep.
I
And
say go through the ugly stage. Like
yeah,
it ain't gonna be
right.
easy. Even with the same thing with hustling, I was like, bro, I've been hustling. I know what it feels like to get thousands and thousands of dollars a day. I was like, but that's the turning point where when you broke and you don't go back to that. That's the hardest part for everybody.
Mm.
You
Hmm.
gotta learn how to live on a regular person's budget now.
Ain't that something? Ain't that the truth, bro? Because I remember when my brothers was in this when my brothers was in the streets real heavy and they was getting a whole bunch of money, and it began to hit me like, yeah, the dude he's serving may be addicted, but he addicted to that money too.
It definitely is.
You know what I'm saying?
I've seen it with prostitutes. I've seen it with pimps. I done tried to get prostitutes go straight, but they be like, "Man, I can earn this blah 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 in a day." I was like, "But yeah, but you ain't got shit to show for it." People always ask me like, "Oh, gee, you got jewelry, you got shoes." I said, "For one, because I got it the legal way, and I worked hard for it, so I keep it up."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "That's what you got to do." Even my kids, like I buy my kids nice stuff, but I make them earn it.
There you go.
They be like,
Yep.
well, you just bought you some new Jordans. Well, I just put in a 60-hour work week. What did you do?
What you do? Yep.
I earned this. Oh, you got a Mac computer? Yeah, but you see, I'm making money off this Mac computer. What you gonna do with yours?
Hmm.
Like, I'm not just gonna give it to you just because I can, because then you're gonna become a spoiled brat.
Yep. Yep.
I'm
Yep.
making work
That's
for everything. Get good. Come in here with honor roll. You can ask for anything you want.
there you go.
Honor roll and don't get suspended.
Hmm.
Like that's what I had. I didn't grow up with a father, but I had a lot of father figures around that gave
Hmm.
me a lot of jewels. And one of them was don't ever mix the streets with your education, because the worst fear to a white man is an educated nigga.
There you go. That's
Because
game right
they knew they couldn't talk me out of the streets. Just like I know I can't talk my son out of the streets because I've tried.
there.
And his actions and his answers are exactly the same as mine used to be.
Hmm.
So I'm like, he's gonna do what he want to do, but my job is to try to show him how to navigate it the straightest way he can and be the safest that he can,
Mm-hmm.
and keep him with a backup plan. Like, okay, when you get all this street shit out of you, we gonna have some schooling to fall back behind.
Mm-hmm. That's game right there, bro. That's real right there, man. Because a lot of our young dudes, because my sons, my two, oh, I got 5 sons, bro. I got 2 sons that are 22 years old, and both of them, um, even though I went to college and I was like a quote unquote square, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They idolized my brothers, and they kind of figure they can get it a different way. You see what I'm saying? And even though I
Mhm.
don't agree with it, I gotta just remind them, hey, here's some other options. Make sure you
Mhm.
have something else you want to do, because there's an expiration date on how you live it. And also, I got partners and my brothers have friends that didn't make it through that transitional phase, meaning they got
Mhm.
caught up in the system where they're either dead or they're doing a whole bunch of time. So
Mhm.
some people don't get that opportunity to fix what they doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yep.
That's what I try to tell my son. Don't do nothing that you can't come back from,
There
because we
you
ain't gonna
go.
be able to save you from everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Yep.
I know being hard and all this is cool to you right now. Trust me, it was cool to me too. But you're gonna get tired of looking over your shoulder all the time. You're gonna get
Hmm.
tired of wondering where your next dollar gonna come from.
Yep. And once them folks get you behind them bars, sometimes it's a wrap, man. Man, ain't
Yeah.
nothing you can do.
The last time I went to jail, I was facing 5 years. I said I ain't never coming back to jail again.
Hmm. But you
I was
know
like, I
what?
gotta find a better way.
Yep. And it sounds like that's why I think our mentality is so important. Like how we view ourselves, how we view the world. Like fuck what we saying to everybody else. How do we actually view ourselves, and how realistic are we being with ourselves? Because it sounds like you made a decision, looked around and said, I ain't never coming back here. And that's something I think anybody who in those situations they can do. But some dudes a little more hard-headed than others, they don't see it like that. They said, okay, I gotta switch up how I move. I just got to be better at whatever I was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's why I like I have my kids here. Like the 4 kids that I have with my first wife, they live here with me.
Hmm.
And I make sure they see me get up every day and go to work. They see me come home and go do bodyguard work. They see how I'm getting the stuff and they see I'm not getting it legally. And then on top of that, I started off to go to college just for my kids' sake because I have my high school diploma, so they couldn't say shit about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want my kids to be able to throw shit in my face. Like you ain't got yes I do.
Yep.
Well, Dad, you ain't on the honor. Yes, I am. Why ain't you?
Yeah, there
Well,
you
Dad,
go,
you
bro.
ain't. Well, Dad, you ain't got your college degree. Yes, I do. So what's your excuse? Because I had a way harder life than y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can go to work, a 9 to 5, have 3 jobs on the side and a hustle, and still bring in honor roll, you could just go to school and play your little sports and keep your honor roll too, and play your little
Mm-hmm.
video games.
Yep.
It's not that hard. So
Yep.
they
Yep.
can't. They don't even argue with me about grades in school no more
Hmm.
because they can't. They have nothing to use against me.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny you say that, man, because I think that's a real good thing you're doing, bro. And like I said, the biggest part of my platform, Melanated Fathers of America, is using my experiences as a father, the things I did wrong, and just not only imparting that wisdom on my kids, but I know it's a lot of young dudes that grew up in the neighborhoods we grew up in that had kids early that really didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned you didn't have your father growing up. I didn't have my father growing up. So that sends you like on a quest to figure out, how do I navigate this shit? What am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Because when I first had my kids, I'm like, man, really, I'm like, okay, how do I be a parent to them? I can go off what I seen my mom doing. I know some of that's gonna work, but she was a woman. So I'm just pulling from anything I can, all situations around me. I'm just trying to pull from these situations so I can give them my best. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I feel you. So we talked a lot about um, what you do with the music, what you do with your family, and what I wanted to know, because we covered some of my questions here, but what I want to know, and it sounds like you take parenting very serious in having your kids in your home. I think that's one of the biggest elements that all fathers can learn from. Like being in a situation where your kids come visit you or you get them on the weekends and all that. I done been through that, and ultimately that's not effective. You can have some effectiveness doing that, but there's nothing like showing your kids how to live by them watching you live, by them watch, like you said, them watching you get up, go to work. That's priceless, because they can say
Hmm.
whatever they want to say, but they seen that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So tell me, ultimately, like, in your opinion, how important do you think fatherhood is in our community?
I think it's very important. And it's actually a question that I asked myself on Facebook, and it came from me working at these schools
Hmm.
because I was working a lot in like the in-home suspension and detention rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And the first question I asked them, why are you in here? That question would turn into a 3-hour conversation. I literally,
Mm.
on the last day of school last year, had a girl come sit next to my desk and tell me her whole life story. And it made me understand her more.
Damn.
But and then like in the middle of it, and this was a black principal came in and was like, "Get to your desk." And I'm looking at him like, "Bro, that's you're not going to get to these kids like that." I'm trying to stop her from coming back in here,
Yep.
like, cause all she doing over here when you saying that is talking shit about you.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm trying to get, and these kids that I've seen in this room, it was actually at Einstein Middle. I went there a couple times, and now they were 8th graders then, and they're 9th graders now, and I'm seeing them again in high school,
Hmm.
and they're happy to see me.
Hmm.
And happy to tell me like, yeah, remember we had to come. This is what changed my life, and blah 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 blah. That's what I do it for, and that's what I like, because they don't have fathers at home, or their fathers are in prison, or their parents' mentality is too young minded because they had
Mm.
them so young. So I
Mm-hmm.
ask them now, like, yo, how old is your mom? They're like, oh, she's so and so. And if they're way younger than me and I have kids your same age, I know they had them young.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
I done heard some stories, bro.
That's definitely a trip, man. And then I think because you mentioned the black principal coming in there and kind of speaking down to the little girl, I think sometimes, everybody that's black, to me, and I'm gonna just say this shit, everybody that's black don't necessarily think black. And I think when you
That's
have
what it
a
was. That was
yep.
the first thing she said. She said, he's so white.
Yeah, man, look.
That's what she said.
Yep. When you have a black person, and I think that's more disappointing to a kid. When they see somebody white talking down to them, they know they in America. They know how this shit works. They say, okay, that's the shit white folks do. When they see somebody black talk down to them, they really don't respect them. You see what I'm saying? Because you
Mm-hmm.
look like me, but obviously you don't understand my experience, and we come from the same place for the most part. You know what I'm
And
saying?
not even listening to them. They're just immediately jumping. Like the teacher will send the referral. They won't ask the kid what happened. They'll just take the teacher's side. Teachers are human too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could have took it the wrong way, or it couldn't even have been like that. They could have just been tired of the kid and wanted to get the guy. I've seen teachers do some shady stuff. Even now as an adult, sending kids down there for the simplest stuff. Like you gonna stop their education because you irritated because they did something that irritated you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I like I was like, y'all lucky I don't work here full time because I'll send them right back to class. Like, hey, you better deal with this.
Hmm.
It's not that serious. Like we talking about their education,
Yep.
and you're sending them to in-house suspension because she flung her paper on the floor.
Hmm. Yep. And then they get treated that way by the school system, and then they go in their neighborhood, and the police pull up on them, and they treat them the same way. You see what I'm saying?
Or think about this. You don't even know why she flung her paper on the floor. What
Hmm.
what if she what if one of her friends just got murdered last night? We live
Yep.
in Sacramento. They don't call it gangland for no reason. And the
Hmm.
people that's doing the killing and the shooting is is middle school and high school kids.
Yep.
I
Yep.
see it almost on a daily.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
literally. Like you don't know what like grown-ups can't handle that.
Man, look, man, I say all the time, bro. A lot of our people, shit, me included, a lot of us, we need to go sit down and talk to somebody. Like all the trauma we experience, we don't do nothing with that trauma. We just wake up and keep on living. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Sometimes we need to go sit with somebody. We need somebody that's not our parent, somebody that's gonna be non-biased. And you
Hmm.
know,
And just listen and don't say nothing. That's what they want. Sometimes they want you to because if you just say something without hearing what they got to say, they're like, you don't even know what I'm talking about. So what your answer 9 times out of 10 is wrong
mm-hmm,
because you don't even know. Like that's what that irks me when I hear like adults like, I don't have to let them explain themselves. They're kids. I'm like, that used to drive me up the wall when I was young.
hmm,
Like I got something to say, and I'm tired of getting in trouble for you because you don't understand.
mm-hmm.
Like I
Yep.
understand. I'll be the first person to tell you all kids is bad. But even mine, you never hear me say that my kids ain't bad, and even the good ones.
Yeah, yep.
The first day that I worked at a school, no, the first week when I worked at a middle school, elementary, and a high school, I came home, sat all my kids down, and said, "Don't none of you little motherfuckers tell me y'all don't cuss." I said, "Ain't no way. As much cussing as I done heard in
Yep.
these past 4 days." And you know what they said? Dad, you're right. I do. Only in
Yeah.
school though. I was like, don't ever let me catch you though.
Yep.
And don't ever get sent home because of it.
Yep.
I was
Same
like, but don't lie to me. But don't lie to me either.
mm-hmm. Same conversation I didn't have with my kids, man. Some things kids are gonna do. It's just up to you to tell them when and where. Like there's a time and place for everything. You know what I'm saying? You just got
Hmm.
to kind of break that down to them.
Yeah, because I be at some school, them kids, I have to turn my ears off because they just cuss. It's just frequent and fluent to them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you sit there and be like, stop cussing, you're gonna be saying that all day. You ain't gonna be able to say nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
So I just tune it out.
Yep.
Their parents allow them, so if their parents allow them, there's no way you're gonna get them to stop.
See, that's something I was just about to bring up. I understand how important it is to have like black teachers, and everything you saying is right as far as the teachers being accountable and being understanding. But bro, in my opinion, that shit starts in the house. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
most definitely.
It's our job as parents to, like, whatever you allowing in your house, like your house should be treated as like a breeding ground for everything you want to create in them. Like any discipline, integrity, all that shit, you need to focus on that in your house. Because if they're not doing it in the house, if they don't respect you, ain't no
Right.
way they gonna respect no adult outside the house.
Exactly. So that's one of the things when I have to turn to a new level when I be like, so what is your conversation with your parents? Oh, my mama let me cuss whenever we do this, smoke weed together. I'd be like, oh yeah,
Man.
I gotta go a little deeper with my conversation on this one. I see.
Mm-hmm. On everything, bro, because if we got these white teachers that don't care in these school districts that don't care, and then you have a parent that's not engaged, that's like you said, real young, still trying to live their life, still trying to chase whatever dude or girl they trying to chase, man,
At the
our kids
club.
is just, yeah, man, our kids is damn near doomed, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You got high school kids that's parents is that young
Mm-hmm.
that still do that, still in their late 20s, early 30s.
Yep, and they worrying about kicking it or doing whatever they need to do for themselves. But man, I learned, man, my kids grew up so fast, bro. Like I was thinking in my mind, okay, I'm gonna do this when they get this age. I'm gonna do this and do that. I'm like, man, they once they hit like sixth grade, high school graduation was like right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
That's
damn.
how I be. That's my oldest biological son now. He in high school, and I swear he just went to ninth grade. And I'm like, man, where did time go?
Mm-hmm.
You was just 3.
Right? Right? Yep.
Like I said, between me and my wife, we have 9 kids,
mm.
and I have 4. She has 5,
Hmm.
and all of them are above teenagers except for one.
Damn.
So we got the high school and the middle school over here crowded.
Huh. Hey, but that's what's up though, bro, because I think, like we was talking about earlier, a lot of us didn't have a man in the house, like a solid man in the house, not just somebody laying up, not being responsible, because that can hurt the kids too. But a lot of us
Right.
just didn't have a solid dude in the home, man. And I salute you, bro, for having your kids in the house. I think, and trying your best to do everything the right way, because we all gonna make mistakes. And you can tell your kids, do as I say, not as I do. But to me, that's some bullshit, because they're gonna
Yeah.
be watching what you do anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, so that's what's up, bro. And so I really do appreciate you speaking with me today, man. And I wanted to talk about your music and all the business endeavors you got, but we got into the conversation about the parenting and all that. And that's what my platform is based on, you know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
appreciate those kind of conversations, man. And I think, bro, we're gonna have to do some stuff in the future too, man, because your story, being from the streets like that and having the mentality that you have, that can help a lot of people, because unfortunately we got brothers out here, because I used to think when I was younger that just growing older mean I was gonna be smarter, mean I was gonna be wiser. That's bullshit. I know some 40-year-old kids, you know what I'm saying? I know some
Yes.
40-year-old niggas who still sag hella low and
Oh my God. Whole butt out. I know that. I hate that. When 2 of my kids try to do that, I'm like, bro, you could bust a little sag, but don't have your whole booty out.
don't have your booty out. We used to sag. Ain't nothing wrong with sagging, but
Yeah.
you got to be able to, you know what I'm saying? Shit. Y'all be looking
Oh,
like I can just come
when
and do whatever I want to you. Your pants so
right
damn low.
when no belt on or nothing, that drives me nuts.
Yeah, so I'm happy that I was able to talk to you, bro. And the information that you imparted on my listeners, I think is valuable. And we need more brothers who are familiar with that street life, but know how to talk to the kids. Because just like you were saying, even if sometimes, even if a dude like me approach a kid who never been in the streets, walked the straight and narrow, familiar with the environment, but never walked the streets. If I'm talking to a kid who's in it, sometimes they ain't gonna take my word for it either. They gonna be like, "Oh, gee, you wasn't there. You ain't never been through this." You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
for a
It's all about
brother
a
like
connection.
you,
You got to
yeah,
relate. You got to relate to them.
yep. So a brother like you, man, who been through that and is using your because you could be a campus monitor who just doing this shit for a paycheck. Who just
Right.
like whatever. I'm just waiting for the time to go by so I can get my money, do whatever y'all want to do. You know what I'm
If I
saying?
tell you how much Valley High was paying me, you would know that'd be the least of the motherfucking pay. I took a pay cut. I looked at my first check, was like, "Ooh, this ain't gonna get it. I need to start another business." But I wouldn't leave though.
Yeah,
I
but
still do it.
that's what's up, bro. I think that's why I started my platform. And I think everybody, all of us, especially being black, like me, I know, like learning a lot about history, learning a lot about what we've been through. I'm like, man, all of us gotta try to pitch in somehow to help this next generation, man, because if not, we gonna have cycles and cycles of the same bullshit, bro.
Well, my kids done busted in the room, and my wife and my dog.
But no, man, I thank you for talking to me today, bro, and being on the podcast. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. And if you listen to the show today, this is exactly what my podcast is about. I named it Melanated as a play on the word melanin because when we talk about being black or being African American, melanin is the best way to describe our being because if you do some research on it, it's damn near like our superpower. It really makes us who we are. So I think having important conversations with positive black people can go a long way in changing our community. So David, bro, I appreciate you tuning into the podcast today. I thank you for sharing all the information you shared. I thank everybody for tuning in to another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. We out.